This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Due to the nature and the complexity of the story of the Assassin's Creed saga, this video review may contain spoilers. In order to review the game fairly, we need to speak freely about all aspects of the game. However, we have done our best to keep spoilers to a minimum. Thank you in advance. Fans of the Assassin's Creed series have had a lot to cheer about over the past few years. Assassin's Creed 2 took players to Italy to explore the life and times of young assassin Ezio Auditore, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood used that formula, added a brilliant multiplayer, and further refined the game's controls. And the best part was, both games pushed the story into new and interesting directions, both inside and outside the Animus. Does Assassin's Creed Revelations continue to celebrate the fine art of video game storytelling, or are Ubisoft's yearly releases of the series starting to dilute the water? Inside the Animus, Ezio leaves Italy and heads to Istanbul, where he scrambles to find hidden relics left behind by Altair, the original Assassin's Creed protagonist. There he finds new gadgets, a flock of new assassins, and of course, a love interest. The physical layout of Istanbul, with its landscape pocked with landmarks and its rich history, provide a great backdrop for an Assassin's Creed storyline. However, Ezio's story this time around isn't that interesting. The real interesting story segments come from the Altair portions of Revelations. The flashbacks tell the story of the life of Altair and Masyaf before and after the events of the original Assassin's Creed. Unfortunately, there isn't that much action to be had within these segments of the game. The result makes Revelations feel unbalanced. Ezio's portions are action-heavy but story-light, while Altair's portions are the exact opposite. Graphically, the game is a lateral step from previous Assassin's Creed entries. The environments are all gorgeous, but the facial models are worse. In an attempt to add more detail to their faces, Ezio's and Desmond's faces have seen significant downgrades. Desmond now looks awkward, while Ezio is taking on the characteristics of an orangutan. And the city is still populated by clones, and more clones. None of the new gadgetry impressed us. We never felt the need or the desire to craft our own bombs, and we didn't find that their abilities added much to the gameplay. The hook blade was interesting at first using it for zip lines, but its novelty quickly wore off, and after a few uses, we wanted our standard double hidden blades back again. You can recruit and train your own clan of assassins, a feature that made an unexpected return from Brotherhood, and once again you can send them on individual missions throughout Europe. With your assassins come new assassins' dens, and the single worst part of Assassin's Creed Revelations, the Den Protection Tower Defense minigame. As you perform villainous acts like public executions and wise investments in real estate, your notoriety meter rises. If it gets too high, the local Templars attack one of your dens, and you're forced into a tedious and poorly planned game of placing assassins on rooftops to kill storming Templars below. You can prevent all this by bribing local heralds, an act you will no doubt be spamming. Outside the Animus, Desmond's story has come to a near halt, which is a huge letdown for us. Instead of solving glyph puzzles, you now unlock the story of Desmond's past by collecting Animus pieces in the environment. Desmond's story itself is quite fascinating, but it is delivered in a very dry fashion as you slowly navigate through 3D Portal-esque puzzles that are solved by either placing a flat or a ramped shape in front of you. The puzzles are left feeling awkward and out of place with terrible controls. We would have much preferred the glyph puzzles to unlock a fully animated movie to tell his story. The multiplayer that Assassin's Creed Brotherhood introduced is back with a few new modes and some tweaks, none of which are particularly noteworthy. Most players are currently still flocking towards the standard deathmatch and team hunting modes. We can't say that it's a huge improvement over Brotherhood, and it's not good enough to stand on its own to warrant a full purchase.
1 minute remaining.
Without a doubt, this is our least favorite entry in the Assassin's Creed series. While it's still a decent game, it's not the must-play experience of the previous titles. As longtime fans of the series, it pains us to realize this is just another average game with above-average production values. It doesn't hold to the standards that previous entries have made. The storytelling feels sloppier, the character models have somehow gotten worse, and the heart of the Assassin's Creed games of infiltration, stealth, assassination, and extraction have been lost or ignored. You are no longer the one-man mask of death hidden in the crowd. We aren't sold on the gimmick of the hook blade, and the minigames of unlocking Desmond's backstory and defending the assassin's dens are nothing more than a chore. That being said, we appreciate the game for giving us more parkour opportunities and for pushing the story outside of the Animus along, even if it was only by an inch. The big reveal in the final 15 minutes of Revelations almost make the whole game worthwhile. But with Assassin's Creed 3 on the horizon, we can't recommend rushing out and purchasing Revelations at full price. Judging on the celerity of the price drops of Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, you'll likely find Assassin's Creed Revelations at a severely reduced price in the very near future. That's when we recommend you purchase it. In the meantime, a rental will suit everyone else just fine to discover the next bit of story in the Assassin's Creed saga.